know.
That's where I wonder sometimes with people, like, let's say God's not real, right? Let's just take that and assign it as fact for the purpose of this conversation. That means the Pope is either lying or fooled. And I wonder how...
Wait. What? Lying about what? Because
the
Pope
existence of
hasn't...
God.
I think what he's saying, if the Pope knows or not.
I don't think the Pope has come out and said, yes, I speak directly with God in a private room and I see him. Like he hasn't said that.
That's kind of like the
Catholic... But you don't have to say that to make me wrong. He believes in God, right? He tells people that God is real. He tells people that you should pray and that God has rules. And I think he believes in heaven. So, assuming God's not real, right? We're going to take that and pretend that that's just true. Okay. He's either lying or fooled. And I wonder which it is.
He has faith. He believes. I mean that you could ask the same of your dad, right? Like he says he believes, but is he lying or is he fooled?
I believe he's fooled.
No, he's fooled.
Yeah, like no one's ever had any like reasonable evidence of God ever, right? Like people come back.
Really, like the big one is just look around you.
Yes,
it's all God, and it's like even that kid with AIDS, even that kid with not that part, not that part with the botched blood transfusion. It's like, oh no, he was raped. Did that happen in God's place? Like, I mean, it would be much better. Like I think if I had the choice, and like belief isn't a choice, so that's like you can't just like choose to believe something. But it would be way better, I think, to be a Christian and just believe totally and be like, yep, when I check out here, I got a dope suite and God's house, and they're going to have ping pong and pizza, and you don't get fat, and you can get drunk off God's wine. And like, that would be way more fun to believe and way more comforting, I think, especially in those final years.
I wonder if that's why old people tend to believe in God more.
What are some of the better afterlives? Because like after watching
Christianity.
Is that right?
And Islam, right?
I don't think so, because the thing about Christianity, like if you really know your stuff, they're like, oh, well, you won't know any of your family when you're there. You'll all just be one of God's children. I mean, it's like, what you mean? I won't be able to like live with my grandma and know that she's my grandma and stuff? No, it doesn't work.
Where are you getting this?
From preachers and.
Oh, I was always told that if I go to heaven, I'll get to see my dogs again.
Scholars.
Your dogs are not going to be there.
All dogs go to heaven.
Us was like, we don't know exactly.
My source is as good as yours.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, like Muslims, they get the virgins. No, they only get that if they die like in a jihad thing or whatever, right?
I'm not sure.
Or is that an across the board thing? Like, it couldn't possibly be across the board. There aren't enough women. Right?
There's a lot
Mormons.
of people
Mormons get their own planet. Did you know that?
They go to the Celestial Temple, yeah.
Yeah, they get their own planet, and they get to be like the ruler of that. That's my understanding of it, based on a 3-minute YouTube video that I didn't watch the entire.
Let me read this. Here's a question: Will we be able to see and know our friends and family members in heaven? Will we know each other in heaven? Answer: many people say that the first thing they want to do when they arrive in heaven is see all their friends and loved ones who have passed on before them. In eternity, there will be plenty of time to see, know, and spend time with our friends and family members. However, that will not be our primary focus in heaven. We will be far more occupied with worshiping God and enjoying the wonders of heaven. Our reunions with loved ones are more likely to be filled with recounting the grace and glory of God in our lives, his wondrous love, and his mighty works.
God is such an egotistical dick.
Fucking boring.
Oh my, you know what? You're going to spend most of your time just praising me and thinking about my grace and how awesome I am.
Grandpa! It's so good to see you, because I'm busting at the seams to talk to someone about how great God is, right? Right? Let me tell you about the glories of God. Don't you want to ask me about what it was like in the war, since I never got to meet you, Billy? No, not at all. Fuck that shit. Yeah. Let's talk about these clouds. I mean, this.
Or if you like start a conversation where it's like, Billy, how are you? What was your life like? It's like, it was great. I had 2 grandchildren eventually, and I tried to model my life after you. And you just hear God like, I hear someone not talking about you. All right, we'll get back to this. God, I got to clock in at worship work. You know?
I don't even know my commandments off the top of my head, but aren't like 3 of them devoted to just loving God as much as
no
possible?
other gods, no idols, do not take the Lord's name in vain. Like 3 of them all about God right off the bat.
Yeah.
Nothing about rape.
Good to know.
Don't murder children.
And the 11th commandment. They're built for it.
Oh, Jesus.
Now we know God is Sean Connery.
I imagine God is Sean Connery. Like Sean Connery from The Rock, you know, when he was in the prison and he had the long beard and the long hair and everything. For reference sake, I'll get an image.
You're allowed to slap a bitch up here.
The 72 virgins thing, not true. It's a myth. I Googled it.
Wow.
It's raisins.
So it's even worse than I thought.
Yes, yeah. It's a thing that Westerners have seized upon to mock Muslims. But really, there's just like a passing reference to it that could be interpreted in multiple ways.
Yeah, it's about raisins, right?
Not on this page.
Yeah, you get 72 raisins. That's what I imagine God as.
Yeah, that's pretty godly.
Right?
You know, if I die and Sean Connery greets
me,
I
was right.
lived
It's 72 raisins, not virgins. Yeah.
Who wants 72 raisins? That's like 2 boxes of Sunkist.
Well, what you got to keep in mind is when the Quran was written, 72 raisins was quite the reward.
Really? Because grapes aren't that rare.
In 2,000 years ago, you get yourself up 72 raisins and come see me, because you, sir,
every vine would have that, right?
No, absolutely not. You would be eating every grape you found just to stay alive.
I mean, I've made.
You wouldn't have time
before.
to dry them out and save them up. Who has that bounty of extra food lying around but a king?
Yeah, that's true. Based on you seem
based on these things I'm making up as I speak. But here's a link right here that says it right there. It has been said that Muslim martyrs will be rewarded with 72 virgins in heaven or paradise, but the growing number of the Quran scholars and Islamic theologians have contested its interpretation. Apparently, it's raisins.
Dude, being a scholar or interpreter for an ancient holy book would be the dopest job.
Oh?
Like if it was just like, this is Taylor, the Bible scholar. What does this verse about beating slaves with a stick mean? Well, it actually means the opposite. It means that was a test. God did not want you to beat slaves like that. And that's shown in John 1, where it says, "Behold, for I am he who would not say that." And then they're not scholars. What are they going to do? Dispute my authority? It's like them coming to me and being like, why wouldn't the eagles just fly the ring to Mordor?